January the 16th. And you can't finish if we don't start. It is January 16th at 5 o'clock, and this is the regular meeting of the Lorain County Commissioners. May we rise for the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Riddell?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Hung?
Here.
Resolutions, number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
It's quite a bit on here today. I don't know if there's anybody has any questions today in regards to the appropriations.
I believe it's the beginning of the year, and these are part of the regular work program.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
No advances, no repayments. Number 5, requisitions.
Okay, 10 pages. Take these, view them one at a time for questions, and then we'll approve all 10 at once, less any exceptions. Page 1, those watching, you'll note that, the phone bill to Windstream, so most of us will quit complaining about our home phone bill. Page 2.
Can I ask Casey a question? Item number 263. Is there a reason why that's coming out of our general fund and not one of his special accounts? That's in regards to Ree and Associates.
Sure, so that's, Commissioner, that is in relations to the state audit. Ray and Associates assist the county with our state audit filing each year. So historically, that's always come out of the general fund.
I know historically.
I don't know that this would be an allowable expense under some of his other special revenue funds. Certainly, some we could look into, but I don't know that this would be an
Probably because
allowable
it covers
expense.
it does cover the whole county, and therefore,
Correct.
Okay.
It is for the county as a whole, not
just
his.
thought I'd ask to put you on the spot. That was it.
So Casey, is that included in our commissioner's budget?
Yes, that's correct. I think that comes out of our common costs, the commissioner's common cost budget.
Page 3.
So once again, item number 281.
I'll have to see exactly which budget that is coming out. I mean, it is coming out of the general fund. I'll have to see exactly which budget that is.
It's just association fees coming out of our general fund. I was just wondering why it's coming out of
I
our,
am assuming that this is coming out of the auditor's budget, out of the general fund.
out of the general fund through his, okay, that's why I want,
I will confirm, I'll find.
just
that one
confirm.
out.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Did we get any answers on item number 282? Because I brought that up at the organizational meeting.
It was actually in table. It was
I
tabled.
thought it was
Correct.
tabled.
Ms. Petticoat and myself had talked briefly on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I know,
I didn't see
I was at the Board of Elections meeting when they talked about these courses.
Mm-hmm.
And they're required courses, there's this one for Paul, there's one also for Jim Taylor, I believe. Pardon? Jim Kramer, I'm sorry. Jim Kramer, sorry. That they have to take to keep their certification.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds different than public administration courses. you
yeah,
know.
there are some that are, he's required to take.
Okay,
to keep his
so
certification, yeah.
this would fall under the requirements?
My understanding is it would, correct?
Okay. That I can understand. But public administration courses doesn't sound like we're paying for somebody's.
It's a broad-
Yeah, sounds like we're paying for somebody's master's, so. Okay,
Okay, page 4.
thank you.
Notice again, the large requisitions are for annual expected cost for utilities. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7.
Casey, can we go, if you look at numbers 333 for domestic relations, and then you go back to the page before, and item number 330, it's the same thing. And I think there was one on, even if you go back to page 5, I keep saying,
And
there,
so,
item number 314, it's all under domestic relations, but there's 3 different bills, 700, 2,000, 600 for the same company, but it's just domestic relations, so
correct.
I thought that was kind of an odd.
So, and like I said, I apologize, these aren't numbered this week, so.
Oh.
It might just take me a second. But I believe, one of those is for finishing up 2023, so services provided in 2023, and that's will be for 2024. We can't commingle. For services provided in 2023, those have to be paid or handled in their own purchase order, and then same thing for 2024, those have to be, paid separately.
Okay, well, I just thought it was odd that it was in there 3 different times on the same day. Sorry, so, don't know where we left off, there we go.
I'll come back to you on that.
Okay, no worries.
Page 8. Does anybody still use the law library?
For meetings, a lot of meetings on the law library,
They look like depots.
yeah, and depositions, that's true.
Okay. Page 9. Okay, again, when you see a large number like the inmate food for the sheriff, that's projected, that's a requisition for the year so that they can draw on that monthly as needed. Page 10.
Want to talk about that one item? I figured you want to talk about the last one, so.
Oh, no, I
Oh.
was going to go back to your previous question.
Oh, okay.
So, domestic relations court, they have several different general fund budgets for different departments, whether it be for the general domestic
Oh,
relations,
okay.
adult probation, and whatnot. So they have, because there are different funding sources, they have set up 3 different purchase orders for the different departments within the domestic.
Within
relations
domestic,
court.
okay,
So that's the reason for.
okay, thank you. I thought maybe you were going to talk about number 455.
I certainly can. So that is the remainder of, so Last year, this is the emergency repairs at the JFS building. Last year, our best guess was around $2 million, so we had you guys approve a purchase order for $2 million for the repairs. This is the, I guess, the balance of what's left in that project, that's being paid. And again, just as a reminder, that's being reimbursed, through insurance.
Okay.
Deductible.
What, do we have a total on what that flood damage was?
Yeah, so I think that is, a partial balance, but $2.6 million was the expense with Servpro.
And our deductible was 50,000? Okay. And the other work out there is done, so that we won't have this ever happen again, right, Karen?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We're all finished.
Okay, you don't have anybody from Romantic here,
From where?
Stormwater.
from Stormwater?
Oh,
No.
Okay. I think I'd like to, table items 446, 447, 448 till Friday's, and 449 until Friday's meeting, and see if we can't get Don here to tell us. That's when you add those up, that's quite a bit of money, and I wanna see what our bid process was.
I can agree with that, Mr. President.
so do you want to table it then?
You need a motion.
I made a motion, I think we had a second.
Yeah. Motion to table, right?
Yeah.
So those
Okay.
four
Table
items, do you need?
446, 447, 448,
Yep.
and 449.
So let's do that now and vote, right? Okay.
Any further discussion on those? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes,
Commissioner Moore?
All right,
and,
now,
somebody make sure Don knows he's gonna be here.
Somebody call Don.
Yeah, Mr. Administrator?
Mr. Administrator. So could you see to it that someone from Stormwater is here for Friday morning's meeting?
and we're not slowing down to 6119, right? Okay. I saw his blood pressure go up a little bit.
Okay, now, motion to approve the requisitions, pages 1 through 10, with the exception of those we tabled.
Second.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye?
Commissioner Moore?
All right,
Commissioner Hung?
Yes,
Number 6, travel.
move to approve.
Second?
Discussion.
Just want to make note that, you'll see John Gall there frequently for NOACA meetings, because when there's a regular conflict for Friday meetings, and John does attend in my stead.
Commissioner Moore?
All right,
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Number 7, bills.
no,
Nope.
keep going, buddy. Let's see. Come on, Victor.
these are small, buddy.
Oops.
We already voted on investments, that's,
No, I know, he said, hold on a second.
oh, you heard him back there?
Yeah,
Okay,
he just,
there we go.
There we go.
Easy to read.
Page 2. Page 3. Oh, I have a page 3 with larger print.
That's
You're older.
the way it came out. Mine's the same way.
So page 4.
This is just the way it was done.
Who does the production of the vouchers?
purchasing.
These recaps, yeah, my team does.
Your team does?
And yeah, like I said,
All
this,
the same.
we, typically would be on one page.
This
They
one
were
came
broke
out
up to 2
smaller.
pages, but this one should have been probably further broke
Yeah, I
out
don't
to
know why.
even more pages here. Because first,
Yeah.
these first board, meetings, obviously, there's a large backlog from all the December bills and early January bills, so these ones should have been broke out a little bit further to make it easier to read, so.
Is there a way to do that? So maybe even if it's 10 pages, we could,
Certainly, yeah, they just need to be broke out into,
okay.
yeah, certainly can be done.
Yeah, and you're right about the dollar amount. This particular batch, we're in the $300,000-$400,000 range in total.
Yeah, and again, so this is the backlog, all those December invoices and, early January invoices.
Okay. Motion to approve the expenditures?
Second?
Any further discussion? Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public official or employee.
And I don't believe we're gonna be calling for executive
Nope.
session.
Do you want to put this under the,
Yeah.
do you have one that you can put under there? Okay. This is the personnel summary sheet once we can get it focused in. What I find interesting is your alternate, Andrew Lippian, on the NOACA Climate Action Planning Strategy. He was mine. He did a very good job. He went to Oberlin and studied under the professor that was involved in that way back when. So he's pretty well educated in this kind of stuff. And there's about, $680 billion coming from the feds now to put in all these electric gas stations all over Northeast or all over the country. And I've been hearing through our NOACA folks that they're going to be doling out a lot of money for these electric gas stations, or whatever you want to call them.
Electric charging station.
Yeah, well, as you can see, I'm really excited about it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, how much, if we're going to get a fair share, where it's going to go or anything. So I think Andrew's very well educated in that field. So that should be interesting to see what happens there. So just keep your eyes and ears open. There's a lot of money coming for this, so.
Okay,
Move to approve the personnel summary sheet. I guess that's what I need to do.
second?
Discussion? Any further discussion? Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Okay, public comment on agenda items? I don't think
wasn't
there was
any.
We
right?
did not have any on the.
But there is public comment at the end of the meeting that's not on the agenda, which everybody looks like they did, so I don't want you to think we're ignoring you, so, okay.
Is there any old business? Board business. Number 9, approve and waive the reading of the County Commissioners meeting minutes of January 8th of 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Engineer 10 authorizes the posting of load limit signs that state weight limit reduction by 25% on various county roads for the thaw and moisture period in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 5577.07, effective February 1st, 2024 through May 1st of 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
11, authorize 25% freeze-thaw load limit on various township roads in Carlisle Township. The thaw moisture period in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 5577.07, effective February 1st of 2024 through May 1st of 2024.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Hung? I'm sorry, Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Number 12, authorize county engineer to proceed by force account for normal and general maintenance and repair during the year 2024 on county roads for the safety of the traveling public.
So moved.
Bob, do you want to explain to the public the term force account?
I think he,
Commissioner, could I have a second first?
I think he said it.
Second, and
Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner, force account is just when we're using our own forces to do the work versus bidding it out to a contractor.
good, thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
13, finding that public convenience and welfare requires the repair and resurfacing of Butternut Ridge Road, County Road 12, from Oberlin, Elyria to Lorain Road, LOR CR 12, in Carlisle Township, and authorize county engineer to advertise for the bids in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 5555.06.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
14, certify the annual county highway system mileage in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 4501.04 for 2023, and county is responsible for maintaining 266.983 miles of public road.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Anybody else find that an interesting number?
Yes.
267 miles?
I just think it's funny, it changes every year. Bob's over there, what?
Actually, when you get annexations, you tend, if there's an annexation
Yeah.
that involves the roadway, you could lose mileage from the county system.
Oh, really? Okay.
Isn't that- Bob, we're so glad you're here for that fun
Yes.
fact tonight.
With the engineer's answer right there.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I'll tell you what.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
County Administrator update.
Just one small item today. So Karen and I this morning started at 8 o'clock and almost went to 11 out at the jail with a team of administrators out there and DLZ to continue planning for the process of maybe hopefully getting on the ballot a new jail this coming November if we can work through the process. So it was very interesting. We went through room by room on a process, but they're working through it, and we're enjoying learning more about how the process works and adding our 2 cents into it. Thanks.
Mr. Armbruster, did you get any update on the gas cards from Mr. Longo?
We did, and it was long and extenuating. But in the short of it, what has happened, and I wasn't aware of this, that Speedway is able to only allow for the purchase of fuel on that card. So you cannot use it in any other way. You can't go in and buy beer, or you can't buy cigarettes or anything else. You have to pay, it has to be for fuel only. So the way that they've worked this out through his entire organization is it can only be used for fuel, and at Speedway, and any Speedway site within, state of Ohio, or actually throughout the whole country if they wanted to do that.
Very good. Clerk's report?
This Thursday, the 18th, Thursday, January 18th at 10 o'clock is our land bank meeting. Tuesday, January 24th at 9 a.m. is Stormwater Management District meeting. And Tuesday, the same day at 11 o'clock is our investment advisory meeting. Board correspondence?
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence?
Second?
Discussion.
Okay, so he got lucky as a rookie, okay?
Perfectly done.
Took me 4 meetings to say it that way.
Perhaps generous.
Did he steal your note down there? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
I second it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
I should have looked at you, Teresa.
And I have an H there too. I'm just, oh my goodness, it's been a night already, huh?
Then we start laughing.
Is there any new business?
Do we have any
None.
business? I have none.
Okay, then public comment.
Public comment.
There you go.
Okay, this is items pertaining to county business, but not necessarily on our agenda tonight. Leslie Aarons? Yep, yes, please. That way the microphone can pick up your voice.
My name is Leslie Aarons. I own a house on Dunton Road in
Wait.
Lorain.
Okay.
The entire Dunton Road is not on public sewers. There's no sewer line on Dunton Road at all. About 2 weeks ago, we received an invoice from the Lorain County Public Health for a 3-year operation permit for the septic system at that house. Virtually all private septic systems were or are installed at the property owner's expense. They are maintained, upgraded, and cleaned out by the property owner's expense, at the property owner's expense. I would guess that most of the septic systems in Lorain County were installed 50 to 100 years ago and met the existing requirements at the time of installation, if there were any. Now, the definition of robbery is taking something by force. This permit fee by Lorain County Public Health is nothing less than robbery because they are taking $40 per year by force from everyone with a private septic system. How can an entity create a permit for a property improvement that was in many cases installed 50 to 100 years ago? I am adamantly opposed to this $40 per year fee. That fee, by their own website, they have over 20,000 septic systems in Lorain County. That fee will bring in over $800,000 per year to the Lorain County Public Health. And I'm opposed to that. It has not been voted on. It's not a permit. It's plain robbery. Thank you.
Thank you. John Mendy,
Or Mead,
Mead?
yeah, 70 at the end of that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Just as soon leave it off myself. Basically, I'm addressing, my name's John Mead.
And your address,
Also a
please?
resident on 4535 Dutton Road. Les is a neighbor there, he brought it to my attention. I had attended a meeting out to Carlisle when they discussed this being incorporated to our county. I understand that it did go through the state to get the first step started. They passed it and then passed it on to each county to recover fees that are necessary to do this viewing and inspection of the septic tanks. Switch glasses here, I got a few questions. Or like Les said, $800,000 is going out. Okay, how are the inspectors hired? And again, you might not have these answers yourself there. Is there training required? You know, are these gonna be people that you pick off of the county dole and set them up in a vehicle or something and say, you know, go out and look at septic tanks, when possibly they don't know which end it comes in and goes out, okay? So again, training, I think, is gonna be required, and be able to have a conversation with somebody to explain what's going on with the systems, why it's necessary, and again, justifying the cost or the fees there. What might the salary be for these inspectors? Okay, if we're looking at $800,000, if we have 8 inspectors and we supply them with vehicles, all of a sudden I see us going in the hole right off the bat. Okay, now how is that money gonna be made up? Is that gonna be through a higher fee? You know, they're putting this 40 out there, you know, as a number for each individual that's, you know, has a septic tank there. Is the position gonna be a 40-hour week for them? Let me see, what department will oversee it? I don't know if you know those questions or not. Who's gonna oversee this? Is it gonna be self-contained? How about the, where's the money coming from now to get this program set up prior to collecting these fees? Are we borrowing money to get this set up and then required to pay interest on it? Is the state supplementing anything toward this? to get this, up and rolling, since they're the one that voted, for it to get it passed? Are we, able to get any of that money from them? I heard when I went to the meeting in Carlisle that this was going to be a nonprofit. Okay, so if this is a nonprofit, what happens to the surplus if by chance, I understand programs like this has a way of using all they're given, but by chance, if that money was not used, where does that go? Does it go back to the septic, homes? Or does it go into a slush fund that somebody can borrow it from there and transfer it into another project? How can that be isolated and sealed, without it going outside its boundaries?
Okay, are you closer?
I'm real close here.
Okay,
Oh, in fact, that was my last question on there. I almost had it memorized.
I'm psychiatric that way.
If there was a surplus money was my last question,
Very good.
where does that go?
And
So,
with respect to your questions, all good ones, we have one more speaker on the subject, and then Mr. Petticord and I will probably have a few answers for you that will pertain to everybody.
okay, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for the heads up.
Thank you, Mr. Mead.
I'll jump in, don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay, Deborah Williams?
Deborah Williams, 42013 Biggs Road in LaGrange. When I received this paper telling me about this permit that I had to go pay for, I thought it was a scam. The last thing I'm going to do is take my phone and scan over a QR code that I'm not sure who this actually came from. I did, and I was afraid to call from my phone on that number. I did look on the internet to see if the address was legitimate place. I did talk with different friends and found out that this was legitimate, but I was nervous when I got it at the beginning. Usually when the word permit comes up, you usually apply for a permit before you build something, before you put something in a home, not when something is already in existence. It's like putting the cart before the horse. And this is, I guess, happening throughout the whole state of Ohio. I was rather surprised that this gentleman before me said that he went to a meeting in Carlisle. I've not heard anything about meetings that were out and about. I would have preferred to be more educated on this, knowing a little bit more what it consists of. Just drop by, give us your $120 that we're supposed to pay, and trust us, we'll do something with the money. I need a little bit more information. I know I'll probably have to end up paying it eventually, but you could inform us a little bit better instead of giving it to us right after Christmas and stuff like that. So those, let's see, issues, permit fee. I think that's my concern about this. Not enough information about it and what we can actually expect for the money and what we have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. And Michael, do you want to let us finish this conversation, and then we'll take your comments? Do you have time?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, if you would have gone to the meeting, I think they would have saw what a commissioner's meeting is like sometimes.
Yes.
That, what bothers me the most is not the $120, is that now you have a government agency going out to each and every one of your homes and could tell you that you may need to spend $8,000 to $15,000. And so when we read about this in the paper, like you, and we decided, first thing we did is we started calling other agencies to see, okay, how do we mitigate the future alarm of people when they realize that maybe their septic system has failed and they can't even afford the $120? Can you imagine what's going to happen if they can't even afford to bring it up to code? So this is one of those famous Columbus unfunded mandates where they pass a law and they say, now you guys got to figure out how to pay for it. And unfortunately, we're in the middle and we're working on a lot of avenues, but I think Jeff actually attended the meeting, so you might have more insight.
Yes, on January the 8th, when I became the commission president, Evidently, one of my new duties was to represent the commissioners at the health board. And so I attended the Wednesday meeting. And as just some background, the health board is supported by its own tax levy, voted on by all of us as taxpayers. And they have their own board that's responsible for the activities. They hire their own executive director, which is Mr. Adams. And while there's a desire to be working with the county and the commissioners and the other departments, they are a standalone agency, and we do not have direct control over anything that they do. I hope that they will continue to let us have a voice and maybe a little bit more authoritative voice, because what they do does affect the county, even though they're not responsible to the commissioners. My understanding from the meeting was that they are calling this not a permit, but they're calling it a license. And in fact, they use the analogy that if you were a restaurant, you'd have to get a license every year. If you were a tattoo parlor, you'd have to get a license every year. And with those licenses come some semblance of either random or annual inspection, I'm sure. So at the end of the day, they indicated they were just interested in cataloging the septic systems. There's over 20,000. They don't know the condition of those. And a septic system that's not working properly meets their definition of public health hazard, because raw sewage in the ditches and so forth can be, and heading into the streams, which head to the rivers, which head to the lake. So they feel that they have a responsibility, and the state of Ohio did back in 2015. They did pass the legislation that authorized this process. And my understanding from the meeting the other night is that they went through a formula that they have to be able to rationalize that. Does it cost $40 or $50 or $20 or $10? They can't just arbitrarily pick a number. They have to be able to substantiate that what they're charging approximates the cost of the service that they're gonna render. I did at the time indicate that I thought they could catalog the systems for a lot less money and a lot less effort than what they were trying to do. But that obviously, somewhere down the road, this is going to lead to an inspection and need for people to make repairs and so forth. Otherwise, why would you catalog them? And the knowledge of where they're at is meaningless in its own face value. So, we're looking for more comprehensive from them. Mr. Petticord was also there, and he may have heard some things that I missed. But they are revisiting the whole process. They are surprised at how much dust that they have kicked up with this process, and that it's not, and how well it's not being received. So I think they realize that they might be doing the right thing, they might be doing the legal thing, but they're doing it very poorly. And so I think they're revisiting that, and I hope to have conversation as the board's liaison with the health board, being the commissioner that is charged with that. I hope to have a better understanding so that we can allay the concerns of folks like yourself. And that night, there were probably 40 or 50 people in the room. About 30 of them spoke. And they were all people that thought they were taking care of their tanks and doing what they should be doing, and wondered why there was this whole process needed to be developed. So you're not alone. The three of you are not alone, and your questions are all good questions. But I'm afraid we don't have all the answers yet. I have a septic system, and I got the same letter when I returned from holiday vacation that you all got. So I went to the meeting, and it was about a 2-hour meeting, and all I could say is they're back to the drawing board. But I would expect that there's going to be some form of this process will continue in the weeks and months ahead when they get a better grip on how more fairly to do it. Do you have anything to add to that,
Yeah.
Counselor?
Sure. The first thing I'll say is this, it is a state mandated program. All right, it was not a decision to do the program was not made at this board level or even the Lorain County Board of Health level. The rollout that came in and the way people were notified of it, I think the health board has some appreciation that maybe that could have been handled better. After the public meeting, I'm also counsel for or my office is counsel for the Board of Health as well. After the meeting, we had some discussions. They're going to reissue the letter that you got. So I know a lot of people expressed some concern about the 25% fee if you don't pay within 30 days. That is, so you understand it, that's written right into the statute, how that's supposed to work. We're gonna reissue that and provide people, the board is gonna reissue that and is at least contemplating providing people the opportunity to pay on a yearly basis, so $40 a year past, or $120 for 3 years. They were planning on making that change. They're looking at providing, using different funds to provide some financial relief for people who are, this is a financial burden for them to deal with. So the health board heard a lot of the comments and are trying to be reactive to what the residents have said. It is a program that was passed in 2015. There was some stops and starts. The Lorain County was about ready to start it when COVID hit, and then it stopped. And now they're getting rolling now. To your question, sir, I can't remember your name. The employees who will do the inspections in the initial phase are health department employees. There is a program that the health department plans on rolling out that will allow people to do their own inspections for the permit. I agree that permit is a bad word. It's the word that's used in the statute, so they're kind of stuck with it. But I think you'll get something soon from the Board of Health, and I would suggest that if you have any questions, that Mark Adams, who's the director, is engaging as best he can with people as they come in to help with the program. Okay. And one quick, just so there's no confusion, there are two boards. There's the Health Advisory Board, on which the president of this Board of Commissioners sits, and then that board appoints certain people to the Lorain County Board of Health. That Lorain County Board of Health is the board that has statutory responsibility for this. So the board that Jeff sits on appoints people to the board that handles this issue. Is that helpful at all to anybody?
I think it helps them explain it, doesn't help them with the money.
Yeah, it doesn't help with the problem, but at least let you know where we're at.
Well, and my thing is with, we do have ARPA funds, and there could be, it sounds like to me what they're doing is they're charging $120 to help fund a program to go back out and then inspect them. That's what it sounds like to me, so.
I understand that
Well, that's why I said unfunded mandate. The state of Ohio is forcing
I
it,
learned about this,
like we all did.
yes,
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
I think there's some room to operate in providing financial relief for this. I don't know how much we can do. There is, see, the point about Jeff made about the fee too, there's a whole formula that they have to follow under the administrative code about how to set the fee.
But we're also in the middle of doing something really fantastic in the county, creating a 6119, and I don't know if there's anything that we can institute in this 6119 to help assist, because it's going to be, if we do this right, don't you think, Jeff, it could be something that, he doesn't like that.
I think they're two different, I think, hold on, Jeff.
I'm just trying to look at funding mechanisms, because that's what, at the end of the day, it comes down to money. It always does.
I think they're two very different things to try to put
agree.
619 together with this.
Not together with it. I'm just saying it could be just another avenue.
I think that there may be room to operate and to provide some financial relief.
There you go.
I can't say that because I haven't had time to look at what they're doing.
Okay.
But I think from my initial look at, there may be room to operate. If this board wants to participate in that, that's fine. I don't think wrapping this into 6119,
Well, I'm not saying wrap it. I'm just saying it could
other than to
assist.
annoy Armbruster, I think.
Well, yeah, which is what we do. So
I'm sorry. You have that look of everybody who talks to a lawyer that I'm more confused than when I walked in. Look.
Bottom line, are we expected to have this paid by the end of January?
No, they're going to be reissued. The bills will be reissued.
Okay.
I feel confident in saying.
here, I'll answer it for you. No.
Will be reissued. That's what I meant about the 25% fee was a big thing to a lot of people because they're going to reissue them. We should get some communication soon, and then we'll reissue them with a different payment scheme.
Will there be any other meetings kind of explaining this system? Or?
I'm sure based on last week's meeting that the rollout is gonna have a lot of other dimensions that it didn't already because of the you know, the backlash and let's face it, getting a bill that you don't understand and then telling you that it's gonna cost you another $30 penalty if you don't pay it on time when you don't know what it is you're paying in the first place. It's just, it's a pretty bad process, and I don't think you should feel guilty. There's probably 5,000 or 6,000 people in Lorain County that are sitting right where you're sitting. They just didn't take the time to come here and participate.
Our phones lit right up, so.
And that's why I thought it was a scam,
Yeah.
because, you know, if you don't pay this right now, there's an additional cost. It's like, this doesn't seem right.
I would say that I think the health department meets once a month. I don't normally go to those meetings, someone else in my office does, but I think they meet once a month. It's on the website. That would be the proper place to go and ask questions. I will also say that Director Adams they have staff that's available now to answer questions and to provide information on this program. That's where I would start.
Okay, so are you saying to call the number down here at the bottom at
Yes.
our 440-284-3240?
Sure.
Okay.
And I would say that this whole collection of updating the database is very instrumental. It's very important in its own right that we understand where all the septic, we, the government, even though it's not under our direct control, they need to know where the septic systems are. And yes, they were installed at owner's expense when the houses were built and the septic tanks were installed. But there is a duty to maintain them and keep them so that they don't affect the public health. And they can't even assess the scope of the problem and determine what programs are appropriate until they catalog and get their database up to date. And for the record, I did question whether they needed to spend, $2.5 million over 3 years just to find out where 20,000 septic tanks are.
Yeah, that's,
I do remember, because I've been in my home since '94, the late '90s, they would have somebody come around and look at your septic tank, see everything was working properly and something, they'd leave you a little note to say, hey, this needed to be fixed or whatever, so, but I don't know whatever happened to that program that they used to have.
It used to be the sanitary engineer, and I think that this process in 15 moved it to the Department of Health. So I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but at one point, the sanitary engineer quit doing it, and the health department wasn't doing it yet.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. Michael?
oh, wait a minute, Michelle had
Oh,
something.
Michelle?
I was just gonna say, dare I say this, Commissioner Riddell went over it well about the whole cataloging that needs to be done. I had a septic tank owner call me, well, I had several call me, but he was quite animated on the fee, and then went into that, I know so-and-so XYZ down the road isn't doing it right. So he then came around to understanding that, yes, there's gotta be a catalog of who everybody is, how we can figure out, and as Dave said it, I think you guys both said it well, it's a state mandate, but, unfortunately, there just are people who aren't doing what they should be doing.
We've all been on walking the ditch petitions back when we used to have to do that, and you see outflow tubes run into ditches. That's the idea, is to fix that, right? That's-
Yeah. And while people were mad, he came around in the conversation and understood of where the end of it was getting him to in the situation he was dealing with his neighbor. Sorry, that's not a great answer, but
No.
The main thing is you know where the website is, take a look at it and show up to that meeting. Okay, they need to hear you and they will listen.
Michael, thank you for your patience. Your turn.
You looking good?
Evening, Mr. President, Commissioners, Michael DeCarlo, 320 Alberta, Vermillion. Had a question for Mr. Petticourt, if you can just focus on the radio thing, okay? We got 88 public buildings that were built within the jurisdiction of Lorain County, within municipalities within Lorain County that have planning and zoning meetings. Safety forces are required to be at the planning and zoning meetings. So when folks are saying here, we want a seat at the table, they've already had a seat at the table within their municipalities. Question, is that That's pretty good right there, right? It's like a statement of, we could agree on that, it's pretty much,
For what the municipalities do,
we don't know what they do, but they have it, right?
Okay,
They had
fair enough.
opportunity, they had opportunity,
at
right?
that level, fair enough, sure.
All right, okay. All right. Now, commissioners, Cleveland Communications Incorporated is a radio system, right? It is a privately owned radio system. It's a private company. It's out to make money. How does it make money? It makes money off of information. What information? Our information, most likely. All right, but it's operating outside the purview of the state of Ohio because if it's a private company, it's there to make money. It's not, all the information there is not going to be within the purview of the state of Ohio until it hits the fusion center. Okay? Most of the people around here don't understand what the fusion center is because we don't teach that type of stuff in our civics class. You only know that if you're in the military or if you're in law enforcement or you understand the changes that were made after the world changed in 2001. The concern I have is that we have a constitution that defines government. And if we can define government, we can confine government. When you have this Harris radio system operating on frequencies that aren't dedicated toward safety forces and run by a private company, it would seem that it opens the opportunity without the purview or the supervision of the state as a check for events to occur that the protections that the state provides the citizen wouldn't be there. So that if that information never goes to the state, somebody could be strong-armed the rest of their life just because somebody knows something about them, be blackmailed. Opportunity. We just created an opportunity for this to exist. I didn't say that it is, because you paid me a paltry salary for a career to pursue individuals in countries that do this type of stuff, to exterminate them from the face of the earth. And to come home as a military retiree and see this as it could be occurring in my own backyard, where I eat, you can put that in a septic tanks. You all have a great week. We'll see you.
Perspectives, Michael, thank you for sharing.
All right, take care.
That's the best pollution he's ever had. Okay. To the president, you done?
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Just adjourned.
We're just adjourned.
I
Thank
gave you
you.
the motion though, Jeff.
You did, okay, Commissioner,
That was a
Commissioner
motion
Riddell?
pending. Yeah, that was a motion pending, we can't.
Right, Commissioner Riddell,
Did anybody
Yes.
second it?
Commissioner Hung,
No.
Yes,
She made the motion.
Commissioner Moore, Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Riddell, Commissioner Moore.
All right.
Thank you.
I got 6 now.
Oh, you're going to the Lorain meeting?
Yeah.
Got one more.
Thanks for coming in.
I am, and I talked to you, yes. And you came.
Yeah, I think that's coming in.
One other thing.